Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you the 5 key tips that I always use when entering any new brand into the wholesale market. It's especially important now more than ever to come up with a strategy and a game plan when going into the wholesale market, especially now when we're not sure if we're even going to have trade shows, if buyers are going to travel as much. So it's super important to have a good strategy laid out, and I'm here today to share with you the one that I always use. The first thing that I always do is just get my list together. Now this could be a list of all the buyers that you want to target. This could also be a list of any editors you want to see, any bloggers, influencers, maybe other brands you want to collaborate, but it's important to have that list. That list is what's going to take you from the beginning of the market to the end of the market to every market in between. And it's super, super important that you keep that list organized and detailed. So what I'm saying is you got to put every buyer's contact information on their first, last name, email address, phone number, the address, any assistants that they have, because I'll tell you sometimes it's easier to go to the assistants than it is to go to the buyers directly. The other thing is to make sure to organize your list by region. This is super important too. That way when you are going to any regional events or you're going on road, it makes it so much easier to keep your buyers together by region. And also when you're doing your target, you're targeting certain regions differently. When you go after people in the Southeast, it's different pitch than maybe you're going after the people in New York or California or the Midwest. So it's super important to organize that list. That is going to be your guide. Now that you have your list ready, it's time to get your selling tools ready. These are also super, super important. These are going to be the first things your buyers see. This is your first point of contact. So the images have to be impeccable. The line sheets have to make sense. Pricing, delivery, in organized fashion, clear with pictures. Maybe you want to do a stylized lookbook too. Maybe you want to add some marketing materials in there. This is so super important to make sure that your brand looks professional and stands out. The buyers see tons of things, especially email. People are inundating their boxes all the time. You need to stand out, look professional, and be super organized. Also, because of the current landscape, I would take it one step further and maybe make a video. You know, go after your brand in a different, unique way. These buyers may not be traveling now. They might not be going to any trade shows. So how do you want to show them your product and make them feel how you feel when you're selling the product to them in front of them? You want to make it feel just like that in a video. And I think it's a perfect platform, and we're seeing so many people doing it now, selling online and doing these like live shows. So have fun with it and play that, and you can use that video then for any marketing purposes. Okay, so now is pitch time. This is the time that is so super important because you're in front of the buyers with your product. So you want to make sure that you have a clear idea of what you want to tell these buyers about your product, what you want to highlight the most things. And also, again, it's a different approach depending on which buyers you're talking to. When you're going after major department stores, they may want to talk about, the margins, and if you're able to offer a discount, and, what's the exclusivity, what other brands do you sit next to, what are what are your competitors? They're going to come at you with a lot of questions. They have a lot of product knowledge. They have tons of experience in their store, so you need to be prepared for all of that. It's going to be a different conversation when you're going after your boutique owner. You may be talking about how your cousin lives in their town, and you know that they have a great event going on in summer, and you want to have your product in there for that. And maybe they're a college town and purple's their thing, and you've got a ton of purple for them. You want to make it super personal for these small boutiques. They are so super important in building your brand and building that kind of grassroots effort, directly touching with their stores and their customers. You're speaking really one-on-one with the buyer that is going to then sell it to the customer direct. So again, make sure that your pitch is kind of geared towards different buyers and how you can connect with them on their level. Because really, at the end of the day, this product has to sell from that buyer's perspective. And what that buyer needs in their store, you want to make sure that your product is that need for them. So after you've gone through market and you've done all your pitches and you've done all your outreach and, then you're saying, what's my next step? I don't have a stack of orders, but I need to get some. And what happens when I don't see a buyer? They didn't come to my market. They never answered my emails. This is where that list is so important. That's where you stay organized. You have your buyer list, who I saw, who they didn't, how do I go and see them? Really, this is super, super important, guys. You need to make sure to get your product in front of the buyers. If you cannot get it in front of their buyers, then do what you can in terms of sending a box, seeing them on road. You have to accommodate them in their schedule as much as possible. They see so much product and they get a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls. And we know that you believe in your product, so this is your time to shine and follow up. What's the right amount of follow-up? I always say you kind of have to edge on a little bit of craziness. There's a fine line between harassment and just nudging, just a little nudge. Just maybe you're calling them once a day, every other day, just enough to kind of keep them engaged. You don't want to be too aggressive, but you have to stay on top of it and reach out to them as much as you can without being annoying. Really at the end of the day, you just want to get some answers for them. It's a yes, it's a no, it's fine. We just need to kind of get an answer and then we can make note of it and then go after it again next month. And the fifth thing here that again is just as important as everything else, this is what's going to make those buyers come back again and again, is making sure you deliver the product that you promised. It has to be on time, no issues, no delays, and it needs to be exactly what you promised them, and that's it. And then you just follow up with your stores and you keep in touch with them. And once you build that foundation, then you can grow from there. So just remember, your first market may not be the perfect market. Things might not go exactly as you hope that they would be, but that is why it is so, so important to have a great process in place. You can find me online at thefullyfashioned.com or on Instagram at thefullyfashioned, or send me a message here. I'll always get back to you guys as quick as I can with any of your questions. Thanks again for watching. Could be the big one. Could be the big one.
Crazy right now.
Buyers, crazy! Everyone's everywhere! And you're like, holy shit, my clothes, my brand, my this, my that. What do you do? Oh my gosh, my rack fell. My clothes are everywhere. Here comes Neiman Marcus. Oh, they're bankrupt. You just need to be laser focused on your process. Don't get sidetracked. There's a lot of fun things on Netflix. Laser focus. You know what your goal is, especially in market. You have a limited time. And that's why it makes it exciting, but also a little stressful. You have a limited time to see the buyers, you have a limited time to show your collection, and then you have a limited time to get your orders in. So laser focus.